so we are here in Mexico and we are in Michoacan and we are gonna try some street food, so stick around. We're going to have some fruits. Welcome back to the channel. This is my first time I have made a long series food video, and this one is kind of interesting because in this case I visited Michoacan, Mexico. Now this is not the first time I've been there. I've been there before, and it was brought to my attention to bring my camera back for these adventures because I figure that the cuisine and the time in how the little town is, which by the way, this is La Piedad, Michoacan, is such a rich town that has so much to offer. So if you want to watch this, stick around. It's gonna be super fun.
Bien.
Ay, 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 qué rico. Me regala un poquito más de limón, ¿no? Si es posible.
Claro.
Para que agarre más agrio.
Para que amarre.
Amarre.
Nomás a este no le pongas sal, por favor.
¿Qué vas a comer?
Un gazpacho.
Gracias, don. Un gazpacho.
Gazpacho.
Gracias, don.
Más limón. No, pinche limón no.
No tiene naranja.
No tiene, no, ese limón es más como para con escupiendo sale más.
Sal no, ¿verdad?
No sal, por favor. Porque se me traiga mucho el hígado.
Vamos a probarlo. Ay,
Chile, a ver cuánto.
Poquito nomás.
Now, this is not the first time I eat this. While growing up, I used to eat this in Mexico City. It was just chopped vegetables or fruits. In this case, I decided to go with cucumbers with chili powder and a lot of lime. As you can see in my face, I'm enjoying it so much because it's bringing so many memories from when I was a child, and I used to enjoy it so much. Now, this is a little too much of powder. I asked them to put a little too much, and it ended up showing up in a little bit, but I had such a blast eating this and having the memories of when I used to eat it when I was a child, and I couldn't even talk because I was just enjoying it so much. So here is the official explanation of how much I loved it and I was enjoying it so much. Being the second time that I've been in this town, I now know a few places and I wanted to go to all of them. One of the most sought after places is this place in the corner. It's an actual ice cream shop that is very famous from this town because all over the Mexican states you can eat it, and it's known because the ice cream is so juicy, so delicious, so full of greatness. So it's one of the highlights. Put too much spice on this. I think I'm gonna need water. It's good. I like it. These cucumbers were so refreshing. I just can't wait to either go back or come home and make myself some of these. They're so good, so delicious. So I'm just enjoying my time now. One thing that stuck out about this town is that everybody was surprisingly willing to be recorded and participate in my video, which I thought it was amazing. So even check it out. This is going to get fun right now.
Pero hermano, eso es todo. Graben.
So basically what happened was that this guy saw me walking with a camera on my chest, and he just decided to come over and say hi and started dancing. But at first I didn't really pay attention to what he was saying or what he was doing. But then after a while I turned around, as you can see, and he started dancing and just participating, which was super fun. It was kind of refreshing. Walking through the town, you can see that essence of Mexico. Everybody's trying to fight and make a living out of something. They're either selling fruits or vegetables that they grow in their own backyards, or just clothing, hats, shoes, anything that people may need. In a little bit, we're gonna go into an actual supermarket in which there's people selling food and stock and things like that. Now, this gentleman was kind enough to explain to me a dish that they make with the local food, and so I had a second here to talk to him and ask him about what the dish was about, and he was so nice to tell me. Now here gets interesting. Here we are at a little establishment with this lady. Usually these people, what they do is they make this by clay. They make it by hand, and they're clay pots, and in these pots usually you can cook coffee, mole, or traditional dishes because it keeps it so warm, or even beans. Like, it's a delicacy. I remember when my grandfather used to make beans out of a pot, and they used to taste so delicious. So it's just a shame the fact that these things cannot be imported into the United States because of regulations, but I just love looking at these type of things. Basically, going around town, we saw so many things that reminded me of my hometown. We had honey, fruits, vegetables, bread, churros, you name it. It's refreshing to see this again, since I've been so Americanized and I've been living in the United States for over 17 years now. And just seeing this just brought so many memories.
De Michoacan a Guadalajara.
It just felt good.
We are accessing from Michoacan, Mexico. We're crossing to Guadalajara through a bridge, which is an actual river that goes from Mexico to, from Mexico City all the way north. Actually, not north, va al sur, al norte. Norte. Okay. Oye, pero ya se secó. Ya le robaron el agua. Este se llama el río de los remedios. ¿Cómo se llama este río aquí?
¿El río Lerma?
Lerma, pero es el que se convierte en el río de los remedios.
Sí, viene desde el Estado de México hasta desemboca Chapala.
Chapala. Pero eso sí todavía es agua, ¿cierto? Sí, sí.
Walking through these streets got me to remember a lot of things while I was growing up, like this lady who was selling nopales and fruits. This other lady selling sweet bread, as well as the fresh water and the churros, you name it, they have everything. And it's fun to walk around and just see what they have to offer. Some people were playing shy, they did not want to be in the camera, so they kept on covering their faces, but others were just shocked to see, like, what is this guy doing? But overall, it was a good experience to walk around and see what everybody else had to offer. Michoacan is known for having pork and selling pork items, and so in every corner you would see like this pork sausage, pork chicharron, and pork stuff, and it tastes really good actually. The one thing that I have not seen in so long, because obviously I'm in New York, is those avocados. Those avocados are the avocados that have the soft skin. You can literally eat it all, and it reminds me so much of growing up because I just used to eat it and they were so juicy. And all these little establishments, they had it, and I should have tasted it, but I was a little on my schedule, so that's why I couldn't do that. But it was super good to see them. Walking through the supermarket brought so many memories. The meat, the supplies, the spices, the devices that they had to make tortillas, and the taco casseroles, and you name it. Like, they have everything in this supermarket, and it just made me remember a lot while I was growing up. And it's super cool to see all the locals just going to the supermarket and shopping for the daily food, and every little store had like chips and some snacks, and it was just really cool. Unfortunately, with every good, you have some of the sad stories as well. We have a little kid offering candy for like a couple pesos, and I just felt so sad. I just gave her some money and told her to get something. Later on, I saw that she got ice pop, which made me happy.
Alright, so we are at a Carnitas place. And we're going to eat Carnitas tacos. This is Malena, and that's Moises, and we're gonna try this food.
A mí me da también una natural, por favor, una limonada.
Beans. No falta la coquita.
In this part, there's no words to describe the feeling. I was so hungry, I was so looking forward to this. The chicharron was fluffy, crispy, tasty, it was totally fresh. I couldn't wait for the carnitas. I just had to start eating, and I got the chicharron and started taking a taste, and it was just so good. Like, it was so delicious, so fluffy, so beautiful. I don't know, like lime, some salsa. The salsa was just really good.
The name of the place is called Carnitas y Mitro. This is in Michoacan, La Soledad? No, La Piedad, in Michoacan, Mexico.
Just like any other taco, you have to prepare it right. So the carnitas came, the plate looked amazing. It had a little bit of maciza, some of the skin, some of the little cueritos and stuff. It was so good. So I had to just dig in, make my own tacos. So I started with some pico de gallo, some avocado, guacamole. I ended up putting some lime, some really spicy salsa, and it tasted so good. It was so delicious. Every time you took a bite, you feel that meaty, tasty, flavorful, juicy sensation. It's just like chicharron was just, the crunch was so good.
The pico de gallo has a little bit of a kick. Tastes delicious. Can never go without one of those.
apparently they were telling me that a lot of famous people have come to this place because they're very famous. And we are now just taking a break, a coffee break, so we can go to the next location, which will be a taco location that we assisted last time I was here. And it was a very traditional taco place where they sold tacos with beans. So we continue to be here in Michoacan, in La Piedad, and we're gonna continue to hop around and try all different types of foods. So we have scheduled some coffee, tacos, ice cream, and hopefully some other type of dessert. So it's gonna get good. So we are back and we are going to try the famous taquitos. ¿Sí o no?
Ah, abuelita.
Malena.
Sí.
Ya está lista ella, sí. So we're gonna order some and give it a try. I was here last year and the food was just really good. Like just the fact that before this experience I never put beans on my tacos, and once I started putting them I was like, whoa, that's different, and I liked it, you know. So I ended up getting chorizo and I get steak and I got a bunch of different type of tacos, and they were just so delicious, and the salsa was just outstanding. So it was a very good experience. The taste, the texture, the beans add a little bit of a mushiness into it, and it was just great.
Gracias. Vamos a probar. Pues siéntete, Mo, ya no vas a crecer.
As usual, you cannot eat a taco without any lime, salsa, and of course the Coca-Cola on the side. By no means Coca-Cola is sponsoring me for this, but I just cannot have a taco without a Coke. It's kind of like a cultural thing. I ate it when I was a kid doing that. I keep eating it until I'm old. Oh, and if you're wondering what's on top of the tacos, those are some nopales. And also they give you a sliced jalapeno that is charred on the side, as well as some onions.
With beans, it makes a difference. You put beans on the tacos, you get really good tacos.
Big shout out to the taqueria El Maderon. They were really friendly. They allowed me to record, and as I mentioned before, it was shocking that a lot of people wanted to be on camera. So I'm really thankful and happy that I had this experience with them.
Permiso para ir al concierto, pero porque yo no lo que iba a llevar y no permiso ese pendejo porque lo confirmó.
Coca-Cola should give me a sponsor.
There were so many other places I wanted to visit in terms of food. There was a place across the street from this taqueria that sold some sopes and some quesadillas and some deep fried goodies, but then I was so full by the end of this meal. I mean, these tacos may look small, but they were very fulfilling, and I had just eaten earlier some carnitas, which made it very fulfilling day.
We have finished eating tacos, and now we're on to another type of street food, which is Esquites, and we're going to give it a try now. So stay with us. Y no, si no es mucha molestia.
Sí, claro.
Mira, para que te veas aquí va a estar. Si
muy
puedes
bien.
decirme qué es lo que vendes.
Pues nosotros tenemos lo que es el esquitcito.
Ajá.
Ofrecemos esquites, por ejemplo, este es de chile de árbol. También tenemos de guajillo, poblano, tuétano y mantequilla con tocino.
Ay.
Y también ofrecemos lo que son las bombas, que son cualquier fritura de estas, por ejemplo, Doritos, Rufles, Chetos Flaming Hot, lo que están aquí, con cualquier esquite de su preferencia. Y tenemos papalotes, nada más que ahorita ya se nos terminaron, pero son las papas de aquí de La Piedad con cualquier esquite. Y también tenemos lo que son los troles, que es helado casero de cualquier sabor. Déjenme se los muestro.
Sí, ¿no?
Claro.
A ver, vamos a ver.
Tenemos, por ejemplo, mango con chamoy, sandía con chamoy, queso crema con zarzamora y limón. Hasta ahorita ya. Y cacahuate.
Cacahuate. ¿Qué vas a querer, Malena? Ok.
Y nos ponemos los miércoles, viernes, sábados y domingos en la calle Juan Álvarez, frente a Funerales Hernández, desde las 5:30 de la tarde. Para cuando quieran, aquí los esperamos.
Ok. Y ahora sí. Como que se ven estos ricos, pero ¿qué tan picosos están?
Igual si quieren les puedo dar a
Sí,
probar.
¿no? Una cucharita,
Sí.
porfa.
Porque a lo mejor para mí se me hace muy picoso, pero a lo mejor a ustedes no. ¿Usted gusta probarlo?
No.
¿O algún otro? De nada.
¡Wow!
Ninguno pica más que nada más este. Por ejemplo, el guajillo poblano, ninguno enchila.
Y este es de
Tuétano. Se pone lo que es el hueso, o si así no quieren el hueso, porque a mucha gente no le gusta, nada más es lo de adentro del huesito, que viene siéndole el tuétano.
Ok, ¿y sería posible probar estos? Pero solamente les quite porque como que me gusta, pero el sabor más no el tuétano.
Sí, ok.
Sería solamente
se
eso.
cose con el tuétano, entonces agarra muy buen sabor.
Ok, gracias.
Sería este.
Out of respect, I left this part on in Spanish because I wanted to showcase exactly what it meant. So what this lady was explaining to me was that they make these intricate dishes where basically the base of it is esquites, which is the corn out of the cob, and then they make it in little pots and they add flavors to them. So she was showing me how they had multiple flavors: the chili one, the bacon, the bone marrow, and I believe there was like some green chili as well. And she was explaining to me how this is very tasty, and then they could put it with like some sort of snacks, and they put it on a plate and they add mayo and cheese and all those sort of things. But in my opinion, I am very old-fashioned, and the old-fashioned way is just basically plain, just the esquites with lime and chili. And in this case, because I chose this half of the bone marrow and half of the chili one, it was just perfect because I could just add lime and that would be it. But yeah, they also offered some sort of homemade ice cream, and they offered these like intricate platters where they add esquites and chips and sauces and cheese and sour cream and all the good stuff on it. But I just decided to get it normal. As always, sharing is caring, so I had to share it with my guides. They were so kind enough to take me to this place, but yeah, I think they liked it, and I loved it. It tasted so good.
You can taste the corn with the flavor of the bone marrow and the chili. And the lime is perfect. No need for mayo, cheese, or anything like that. This is just perfect. perfect. Great way to close the night.
And just like any other trip, there comes an end, and I am heading to the airport, just ready to go. But we have another stop to take, and this is a place I had eaten before, and I had such a good experience with the food. So let's check it out again.
Well, so we are at the last stop. As every other trip, there has to come to one end, and today we're gonna end it with a Barbacoa de Hoyo. So we are on the road to get to the airport, and we are right here. So let's try this food that is delicious that we tried. I tried this last year and it was so good that I had to come back for it. So let's go. Vamos a empezar con un cafecito. Café de olla. Nada lo iguala. Are waiting for the barbacoa with consommé, and we already have some sauces. So we are very excited to eat blue corn tortillas. Coffee, homemade from the pot. Cannot get any better. This is just good. I'm almost done with it. I haven't even started eating. We have the consommé.
Bueno, yo que sepa, no tienen así. Sí, por eso te digo. Y tienen el botón en medio roto. Por eso.
So for those that don't know this, barbacoa is in Spanish what would be barbecue in English, and it's a method of cooking meat that originally started in Mexico. The term also can refer to the meat itself. Traditionally, lamb or goat is slow roasted for several hours in a pit that is topped with maguey leaves. Some types of barbacoa, however, feature pork or beef, but the most traditional one is goat. Modern recipes people adapted at home, and they do make it differently, but the traditional way cooks it so slow, and the meat gets its flavor from its own juices. Now the juices fall into a pot, in this case a massive pot, that they add some chickpeas, some rice, some condiments, and so on and so forth. But the end result is you have that slow roasted meat to make in tacos, and also you have a broth soup that you use to eat it with. And obviously, as everything in Mexico, you make a taco, you add some onions, some salsa, some cilantro, and obviously, for me, you cannot do it without lime. So you will see here, this is the type of pot or hole that they dig on the floor, and that's where they put the animal to cook it in its juices. Now this is just more for display, so they have that just to put the already cooked meat so they can grab it and remain warm, so the elements do not cool it as quick as it may be.
Good taste. Everything's so good. Like the meat, so tender, soft, delicious. You can just feel the flavor. And then the consommé, full of the broth, hot, spicy, with lime. Perfect.
You add a little bit of the salsa. Doesn't have too much of a kick, but it does give it a lot of flavor. So this is definitely a great breakfast on a weekend right before you take flight. Blue corn tortillas, like freshly made.
Now this food is very unique in its own way. People like this type of food and they come all over to Mexico from other places to Mexico to eat this type of food. And the gentleman was telling us how many people from the United States come to try this food because they really genuinely like it. He was also saying that he believes that people that go across the border and they live in the United States for an extended period of time, they tend to realize or to get a better feeling of what it is to miss the authenticity or the authentic food in Mexico. And I do agree with him, because once you're living in a different place, it doesn't even have to be the United States, it can be any other country. Once you realize that the stuff you used to eat while growing up is no longer available, you miss it a lot, and you really enjoy it when you have it, the times that you do. And yeah, this was a unique experience, how I enjoyed it, and I had a blast. If you feel like visiting this location, it is located on the highway on the way back from Michoacan, Morelia to Guadalajara Airport. It's literally like 20 minutes away from the Guadalajara International Airport. It is on the side of the road. You will not miss it if you take the highway, and their food is really good. Enjoy.
Just like that, we finished everything. So delicious. I definitely will come back, just like I did this time. But the one thing I really love is my little coffee. I'll catch you in the next trip.
Ya retiro
Later.
este plato.